All right, everybody, welcome to this really great call called Fit and Healthy, or Fit versus Healthy. Now you get to really figure out, are you doing everything to be fit and healthy? And I want to welcome to the call with me tonight, Monica Gauntt, who is a personal trainer and a Zumba instructor and nutrition coach. And I'm Alicia McPeek, and I'm also a nutrition coach and former personal trainer. Never taught Zumba, though. Did a lot of other group fitness, but no Zumba. I'd much rather just come to your class. So
that's my favorite job.
That's awesome. So here we are, and we're really excited to share this information with you. I know this is one of my favorite things to do. And it's going to be really fun hearing the kind of two different sides of things from Monica and myself. So first of all, I'll just tell you a little bit about me. I am a health and wellness coach, or a holistic nutrition coach. I've been teaching nutrition for the last 25 years, and I've always helped people get healthy through creating a great nutritional base or great nutritional foundation. So we're going to share some of those tips tonight. And this is Monica. And Monica, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
So I'm Monica Gauntt, Beckham Gauntt actually. And I've been in the fitness industry for only about 6 years. Started teaching Zumba about 6 years ago. Became a personal trainer shortly after that, and a nutrition coach shortly after that. So love doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you have a great story of your own transformation that we'll hear about later. Yes. So I want to set the tone for this by just sharing a few statistics, okay? So some facts. Tell me if you know about any of these, Monica. 1 in 3 people live with some form of cardiovascular disease. Did you know that?
Oh, no, I did not know that.
1 in 3. And it's the biggest killer of men and women, which we don't talk about a whole lot.
I know that.
Yeah.
I knew that. Yes.
Yeah. And here's another one about cardiovascular disease. In 50% of the cases, you don't even know you have cardiovascular disease until you have a fatal heart attack. Half the time.
Shocking. That is shocking.
So you don't even know. Wow. There are not very many signs sometimes. So so here's one that most people probably do know. 1 in 3 women will have cancer in their lifetime. But did you know that also 1 in 2 men will have cancer in their lifetime?
1 in 2.
Yeah. 50% of the men in your life have the potential to have cancer.
Wow.
And of course, you guys all know that about diabetes, right? The diabetes is going rampant, right? And we know that's a lifestyle. In fact, really all of these are lifestyle, certainly heart disease, certainly diabetes. Obesity is right neck and neck with diabetes. Although I have to tell you, a lot of times we think obesity is the problem and creates diabetes, but there are plenty of people who are skinny fat, right? We've talked about this before.
Yes. Wait till you hear my story.
So you can be skinny fat and you can look perfectly healthy on the inside, but you're all full of metabolic syndrome, which is the same thing that causes diabetes. So you've got all these health issues. It causes cardiovascular disease, cancer. It can cause all this stuff. And it starts with what's going into your body. That's the thing you have the biggest control over, right? And some of the things we're going to talk about tonight. But you don't have to be overweight to have metabolic syndrome. So that's kind of interesting. Let's talk about the kids for a second. By the age of 12, many of our children will have developed beginning stages of hardening of the arteries at 12 years old. Did you know also they've even found hardening of the arteries in utero, in babies in utero? Isn't that crazy?
Whoa. What?
And it's not okay.
No, it's not okay.
It is not okay.
Oh.
So the kids are the same as the parents. 1 in 3 will be obese. 1 in 3 will have diabetes. 25% take prescription drugs, but this is the one that kills me the most, Monica, out of all those. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that children as young as 8 can take cholesterol-lowering statin drugs. First of all, they shouldn't have high cholesterol.
No.
Why are 8-year-olds getting high cholesterol? That's a problem. And it's common. It's not normal, but it's common. It's very, very common. And second of all, you're not supposed to be on a statin drug forever. And it has so many horrible side effects that we can't even begin to cover.
Sorry. That's my reaction to that.
So that's all the bad news. Now let's talk about what we can do about it.
Awful. Oh.
Yeah.
Starting your life that way, like that just breaks my heart.
Well, right. If you don't solve that issue, if you're an 8-year-old and you get put on a statin drug, what's your life going to be like when you're 18?
Yeah. Or 80.
You won't make it to 80. I don't think you'll make it to 80 because you'll be so debilitated from the drugs themselves. If not, the fact that you never fix the problem. The problem with this is you never fix the problem. A cholesterol lowering drug is a Band-Aid.
Yep. No question.
So here we go. So let's change the course of this conversation and talk about what we can do, what you and I can do, what we do in our lives, what we recommend to our clients, and why we love showing up and doing this kind of stuff. So let's talk about something that I think most people think they know about, but maybe they don't know as much as they think they do. Because I'll tell you, Monica, in all the years I've done this, which has been a lot, nobody's ever come to me and said, I eat really bad. Everybody goes, I eat okay. And they don't know why. They can't lose weight. Their brain fog and they're starting to take more prescription medications, and, they don't have enough energy at the end of the day to exercise. Why? Well, here's why. Because you think you're doing really well, because the food industry is not your friend. They are not on your side.
And neither is the restaurant industry, by the way.
Correct. That's right. So we're going to talk about consuming more whole foods and eating less processed foods, which sounds kind of normal and simple, right? But are we really doing it?
No.
What does that look like for you?
We're not doing it. I always talk to my clients. I talk to them about grading food. We grade food, okay? And so the first thing we do is we say whole food, what you buy in the grocery store on the perimeter, like the vegetables and the fruit and the things that are on the outside. Whole food is what you want to eat. That's an A. That's an A+ every time, okay? Now, not all. There are certain things you have to be careful with, I think. Of course, grass-fed, all kinds of different sub-issues in that.
Right.
But overall, whole food is an A, okay? Then you have a whole host of convenience foods that range anywhere from a B+++ to an F, okay? And so when it comes to fitness and whole foods, the fitness industry has all these shakes and bars and different kinds of things to help. Some of them are excellent and some of them are not. And so the first thing I would definitely say is right after the whole food, as far as fitness foods are concerned, would be a powdered shake that comes in a powdered form that you shake up or you blend with something.
That's whole food?
That's right. That would be next. That's a B or B+. And depending on, and then of course in there are ranges of good ones and bad ones and what's in it and how the macronutrients of it and what you're using it for and so forth and so on. Then you have the ready to drink shakes, the ones that you walk into the grocery store and you pick it up off that, or the gas station, you pick it up off the shelf. It's cold already and you drink it straight out of the can. Okay. That would be like a C. Okay. And again, there's a range in there of which ones are good or decent and which ones are not. And then you have your bars. And again, many of those are glorified candy bars. There are a few that are not. But so many of them are nothing but just, you might as well eat a Snickers bar. I mean, just don't waste your time and your money. But those are generally the D's, right? And then you have all the other donuts and stuff that are
all the stuff that we know is not whole foods, right? It's not whole foods.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so here's a couple things that I say, very similar to you. But I always say, look at the package, right? And I prefer you to have an item. If you're going to buy something in a package, you need to be able to read every word. You need to know what it is. And you need to be able to pronounce it.
Well, like this. I have this right here. Okay, this has ingredients you can see and pronounce.
And say,
right there. Everything that's listed is right here, and you can pronounce them all.
There you go. So that's one little clue. I prefer them to have 5 ingredients or less. 3's better. Yep. And as you said, as close to nature as possible. I got 2 examples that I really like, though, and I can't help throwing these in there. One is Nature Valley. I mean, come on, you got your Nature Valley. I mean, look, you're at the beautiful cliff, right? Everything's gorgeous. But honestly, when you break that bar down and figure out what's in it and how it's compounding in your body, what's happening when you eat it, it's almost just like a Snickers bar. But wouldn't you believe that it's a great product, right? Your Nature Valley.
Right? Name like Nature Valley.
Right. Name too, right? So again, they're not your friend. No. And then my other favorite one, Monica, is the Lay's baked potato chips. Sorry, Lay's. Nature Valley Lay's. I'm throwing y'all under the right? Because what should be in a baked chip?
Potatoes.
Yeah, right. You read the Lay's ingredient, and I promise you it's like 3 or 4 inches long of all these chemicals and all these additives and all this stuff that's not real food. If you're going to eat a potato chip, go eat a potato chip. That's potato, salt, and oil. That's it. I'd rather have the fried one than have that chemical laden, who knows what it is.
Own it. Just own that you're going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Choose. That's what I always tell people. Just choose. You made a choice. Okay. So that's good on foods. What about managing stress?
Oh my gosh. Stress is so important to manage. One of my I have several favorite things that I love to do to manage stress. The first one is when I wake up in the morning, I sit in my little corner. It's right there. You can't see it, but I can see it. It's a little corner of my couch, and I sit there every morning and I read devotional books. I have Jesus time. I have a little coffee. I do just my time. It's sort of focused, and I turn everything, nothing else is on. My phone is put down. Everything is away, and it's time to just plug in spiritually. And for me, I need that. And then the other thing I love to do at the end of the day is take a nice, warm, sometimes hot bath. Oh my gosh. And I'm a big Epsom salt fan, and I use
essential oils.
Yeah, which one is it? It's not. It's lavender.
Lavender, yeah.
Essential oil, which is my favorite to put in the bath with because at night that's so relaxing.
Oh yeah, well, I used to put lavender essential oil on my girls' feet when they were little, and they were like, "No, don't do it," because they knew they'd go out. You love that stuff.
So I'm a big fan of those two things to do. I think that's just having time, kind of to shut everything off, is so important.
Mm-hmm. True. Okay, so one of my favorite things to recommend is finding time to do things you love. Have fun. Program fun into your life. Program fun into your calendar. Stress is actually just as damaging to your health as smoking cigarettes.
Agreed. Cortisol.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So, which creates a whole other avalanche of health issues, right? And forget getting weight off. You're not going to be able to if your cortisol levels are increased. If you're constantly in fight and flight mode, you're never going to be able to get that weight off. It's not going to come up. So program fun in. And here's my guideline. One of the things I used to do all the time was every Thursday I went to a midday movie. And here's my deal. It's Thursday. It's getting towards the end of the week. I still have things to do, but I'm like I don't want to do it. So what I would do is I'd go and spend 2 hours at the movie theater, have a fantastic time, unplug my brain. And what it would do is it would give me 2 or 3 days worth of activity. It gave me that little shot in the arm that I could do 2 or 3 days after that and be okay. So we need to do enjoyable activities and program them into our life. We as adults, we just don't program fun in. We need to program the fun in.
You're right. It's almost like it's taboo unless you're just
going out.
Something.
We forget.
Really, yeah, agreed. Or downtime, even just downtime to sit and not have to really do anything. Just kind of
True, I agree with that too. Yeah, I was the parent that didn't let my kid do 2 and 3 activities all the time.
Me too.
Because you're doing the same thing to them, and you're programming them for their future too.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about getting adequate sleep.
Oh, let's do that. I'm a huge fan of this, and from a fitness perspective, it's vital because sleep is where muscle grows. So when you go to the gym and you lift that weight or you do whatever it is you're going to do, you're actually creating microscopic tears in your muscle. You're not building muscle at that point. You're tearing muscle down. So the place you feed muscle is in the kitchen, and the place that you grow muscle is overnight when you're sleeping. So sleep from a fitness perspective is huge, and it's massively important, and you want to aim for 7 to 9 hours every single night. That seems like a lot, but it's so worth it.
Oh, yeah.
In the rest of your day, your energy is higher, your muscles are stronger, you've got everything you need to get through the day. So I'm a big fan of turning off the lights near the end of the evening, beginning to turn things down, less light, less television, less electronics. And I love the tip. I've been using this tip you gave me, Alicia. There is an amber setting. It's a night shift setting on the iPhone. I'm sure the other phones have it too. I don't know what it's called on those phones, but on the iPhone, it's called the night shift. And it takes out that blue light that's in your phone that makes your eyes believe it's daytime.
That's right.
You want to get rid of that as soon as possible. So I turn mine off at 8 o'clock. Like mine is already on.
Yeah, mine is too. Mine goes off at 7 to 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Mine's off.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's really, that helps your mind and your whole body just get ready and prepared for sleep.
That's right. That's so important. Okay. So from a health and wellness perspective, here's how I talk about sleep. Sleep is where all your repair, rejuvenation, detoxification and replenishing takes place. You know, your muscles repair, that's part of it. But you also have all of your feel-good hormones that need to be replenished and all this detoxifying that needs to be done. And here's the kicker. It happens between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. So that's a good 4-hour period, right? Where your body's doing all this really important hard work. However, if you don't go to bed till 11 and you don't go to bed till 11, 7 nights a week, every week you're losing 7 hours of repair, rejuvenation, detoxification, replenishing. And it's so essential for your health that you get that. Then you do it for a lifetime, how many hours of repair are you missing? So lights out by 10 with all your suggestions, right? Set the tone, set the mood, and lights out by 10 p.m. So if you need wind down time, you need to do your wind down stuff beforehand. And then, get in bed, get that. And really, honestly, if we can let our body sleep until it wakes up, whatever that is for you, without an alarm clock, listen, the way it works is that our bodies are really designed to go down when the sun goes down and come up when the sun comes up. And we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Nobody's getting that much sleep. And it's just so hard on your body. Again, cortisol levels increase. Again, it can be difficult to lose weight, right? But not to mention all the other things that I talked about.
Oh, so many. And tell me again, I remember you've said before, it's the circadian
rhythm.
Why it's 10 o'clock?
Yeah. Your body, it's the same thing that brings the tides in and out, right? The circadian rhythm. Doesn't matter where on the planet you are, your body knows because of the circadian pull rhythm of the earth. So your body will always acclimate to wherever you are. And it's between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. So you're supposed to be good and asleep by 10 p.m. Yeah. Here's another little tip. Every hour that you sleep before midnight is worth 2 hours of sleep after midnight. So if you go to bed at 10 to midnight is worth 4 hours on your body. Right? So it's definitely earlier does make a difference. You will get up earlier. You will be more productive because you've gotten more quality sleep. Not more sleep, more quality sleep. That's a life hack to me. I'm all about how do I hack my life? Like how do I make things better, simpler, faster, easier? Well, there you go. Sleep before midnight more than after midnight, and you'll double up on the time that you're actually getting on your body versus how long you actually sleep.
I love that.
Okay. Here's your favorite topic. Tell us about exercise.
Knew it's coming. Oh my goodness. Well, yes, as a personal trainer and all of those Zumba, exercise is my thing. And it didn't used to be. So that's what's kind of fun. It did not used to be that, but it is now. Oh gosh, exercise is huge for the fitness level, obviously. It's good for all the parts of your body. It's good for blood flow, cardiovascular system, the whole thing. You really need at least two different kinds of exercise. You need cardiovascular exercise. You need something which Zumba is, and running is, elliptical is, any of those things that gets your heart rate up and pumping. And the best kind of that, honestly, is interval training for fat burning, because when you do that, your fat burning goes on long throughout the day. If you just do a steady state exercise, and what I mean by interval training is your heart rate goes up and down. If your heart rate goes up and down, then you are giving yourself a fat burning long into the day, as opposed to getting your heart rate up, letting it stay there, and then bringing it back down. You've burned your fat at that point in time, and then you're done.
Right.
So much better to do interval training as far as cardio is concerned. Weightlifting, resistance training is the key. That is the key. That's the key to all exercise.
Right.
When the air is good and it's good for you, but wow, if you are neglecting weightlifting, then you're neglecting something huge, because as we age, past the age of 40, we lose 0.5 pound of muscle every year just by being alive. And you can stop that simply by lifting weights. And so that whole thing that our mothers used to gripe about, that middle-age spread, it's so much harder as you get older. It's so much more difficult to drop body fat and stay lean and stay skinny, and I can't fit into my wedding dress and whatever. Those things don't have to be true if you lift weights, because weights, they make they give the body shape. They need more calories just to stay alive. They provide strength and balance and just a host of other amazing benefits. So get muscle and hold on to it like it's gold.
Yeah. So I learned some new things. Here you go. So, and I know you know this already. It's not going to be new to you, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. So here's the thing about building muscle. It really is your fountain of youth. literally is your fountain of youth, because you produce, when you lift heavy and you use big body parts, right? So back and lower body, doing big muscle groups. Guess what happens? You increase your human growth hormone, which is your fountain of youth.
Human growth hormone, HGH.
Yep, HGH. And your estrogen and your testosterone. So it's good all the way around, right? You're gonna balance your hormones.
Awesome.
Right? So so for us as women, we need to make sure we do this. All the other things you said, here's the other thing I say from a wellness detoxification perspective. You have a system in your body called the lymphatic system, and it doesn't have a pumping system of its own. So it cannot move on its own. It's a very important system because it pulls toxins away from your organs. So it's kind of like a sewage system. If you don't move your body, it doesn't move. So you don't clear out your lymphatic system. So you've got to move your body. So, I mean, you can just go out your front door and walk for 15 minutes and walk back, or start with 5 or 10. It doesn't matter, but you need to move your body 15, 20 minutes a day like that. Do high intensity interval training. That's better. That's what, do something so that you're moving your lymphatic system. They also have these mini trampolines you can bounce on for 10 minutes and you're good.
Those are
the lymphatic system. Yeah.
Those are fun. I used to bounce on that with music, and
they're hard though.
They are. Yeah, they are.
They're hard. Okay, so that's what I say from a wellness perspective. How about drinking water?
Well, I'm a huge fan of drinking water constantly. There's so many reasons from a fitness standpoint that water is important. One of my favorite stories to tell, I guess, or the science lesson I like to give, I call it my little science lesson. When you add a molecule of oxygen to a molecule of fat, you get carbon dioxide. Oxygen is carried to your fat cells through the blood. And when you are even 2% dehydrated, and you don't know you're dehydrated at 2%, you're not even thirsty yet. So you don't even know. But when you're even 2% dehydrated, your blood flow and your blood volume decrease, which means you have less blood flowing slower through the body. And that means you are getting less oxygen to your fat cells. So you are burning less fat just by drinking less water and being 2% dehydrated. Now, obviously, drinking water is not going to suddenly make you a lean, mean fighting machine. But when you're in the zone of wanting to burn fat, when you're in the zone of wanting to be lean, when you're in the zone of wanting to drop weight or drop body fat or whatever you want to call that, it's important to put your body in the best possible position to do that. And one of the easiest things you can do is stay hydrated. And that's probably more water than you think you need.
Right. Okay, so here's mine. Monica, let's fill your kitchen sink up with a sink full of water. Okay? And
I'm frozen.
Let's go on vacation.
I lost you.
Oh, you're good still.
I hear you.
Everybody's still good? Yeah.
Yeah, I hear her.
She's got a bad connection. Oh, okay. I'm going to keep going. So if you fill your kitchen sink up with a sink full of water and you walk away from it and leave it for a week, what's it going to be like when you come back next week?
Disgusting.
Correct.
Smelly. Ugh.
Yes. Now let's turn the faucet on and run that water in the sink. What's it going to take? How much water is it going to take to displace that nasty stagnant water? And
probably 3 times as much.
Right, and refresh it, right? It's going to take a lot. You're going to have to run it for a long time to displace the water that's in there. So I use that analogy with our cells. Our cells are all full of water, 70, 80% water, right? Or they should be. And that water is just sitting in there stagnant. If we don't drink enough water to flush out that old stagnant water and refill it with new, clean, fresh water. My recommendation is actually a quart for every 30 pounds of body weight, which means if you weigh 120 pounds, you need to drink a gallon of water a day. And that's something that's not easy to get up to. You need to work your way up to it, but it's something that it's so vital. It's going to give you energy. It's going to detoxify your body. Sometimes we think we're hungry and we're actually just thirsty. That I know that's definitely happened to me. One of the things I like to do is put water right beside my bed and drink it in the morning before my feet hit the floor. It'll also get everything moving and get the stuff your body's been working on all that detoxification all night. Drink a big glass of water and start everything moving and getting it out of your body. Okay, and then practicing prevention. That's what we're going to talk about next. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Give me a second here. Okay. So here's my story as a wellness coach and personal trainer. I used to, just a few years ago, get everybody to drink 2 quarts of vegetable juice every day. Has anybody on here ever juiced vegetables before? It's a lot of produce. It's a lot of expense. It's really great for your body. But it's really hard to maintain. Just like anything when it comes to weight loss or health, it's really hard to make a habit permanent. But when you're doing something like 2 quarts of vegetable juice every day, one little bump in the road could come along and it can throw you off your track. Now, when people did it, it worked. They would lose weight. Their skin would clear up. They'd get off medications. They'd literally get their life back. Their brain fog would go away. But time and time again, people would fall off the wagon. And here's why this is so important. It's because your only defense against oxidation in your body is through fruits and vegetables. You have to have antioxidants to create those healthy cells. Healthy blood, healthy cells, all of that stuff has to be created utilizing fruits and vegetables. Hi, Monica.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. No worries. So we finished the sink. Now we're on to the okay. So we need fruits and vegetables. So I knew as a wellness coach, I knew that people needed massive amounts of nutrition from phytonutrients. So this is why I had them do this. 2 quarts of vegetable juice, a half a pound of salad, a pitcher of green smoothies every day, literally. And it really did work. But also as a wellness coach, when you go into a profession like this, you do it because you love people and you have a passion to help people get healthy and well. And or fit, right? And so when people would fall off the wagon, well, everybody in this room knows that when you fall off the wagon, it's harder to get back on. And every time you fall off, it's harder and harder each time. You have to go through the whole rev up process all over again to get yourself back on that wagon. And it gets harder as time goes by. So I was looking for some solutions to help me help people more. And this is why it's important, because nature really cannot be duplicated. You can't take a handful of vitamin supplements and expect it to make up for the nutritional deficiencies in your body. It's not going to happen. And here's why. Every one of those isolated vitamins is isolated from all of its other buddies. It's fractionated from itself. So they break it apart and then isolate it from everything else. As an example, you see here on the screen 1 page of about 100 phytonutrients that are in an apple. There are actually more than 10,000 phytonutrients in an apple. Which one of them is the most important? Which one matters? Which one should you be taking? Who knows, right? And here's the most beautiful thing. When you consume whole foods, your body knows exactly what to do with it. So if it needs that one little phytonutrient down there on the right-hand corner in the bottom, which I can't read, then your body knows. And here's the other really interesting thing. When you take the vitamin C out of an apple, it's worth only 15 milligrams of vitamin C. But when you leave it in the apple with all those tens of thousands of buddies, it's worth 1,500 milligrams of antioxidant activity in your body because of the synergy working with all of its buddies. And every one of those 10,000 nutrients has an address somewhere in your body that it's supposed to go to do good work. And that's scientifically proven. We know for sure. So you can't pick and choose which ones you need. You need the whole food. And the really cool thing is that all different color food families have different nutrient profiles. So you need a lot of different colors as well. So here's my solution. When I'm trying to get people to do all this juicing and they're not doing it and they're falling off the wagon. And I was literally praying for a way that God could help me help people more. Because the people I love the most in my life, Monica, and I know you've experienced this as well, there's no way I'm going to get my dad who eats a Snickers bar and drinks a Coke for breakfast to juice.
Nope.
But he can do this. So I fell in love with powdered plant produce. I talked about life hack earlier. This is my juicing hack. I don't have to juice all those fruits and vegetables. And besides, even when I was juicing them all and eating all those big salads and doing those smoothies, I wasn't getting all these in my body every day. I would get the same ones. We all do it, right? We can't physically do it, but we also, don't you buy the same things every week?
Mm-hmm.
I do. Yeah, really, I buy what I like. I buy what my family likes. I buy what I know how to prepare quickly and easily. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have to figure anything out. So my juices were made exactly the same way. My smoothies were made exactly the same way. And that's the power of what this has here. And this is why I fell in love with this product. And this is what it is. It's 30 whole foods. It has a food label, not a supplement label. We actually don't get taxed on it here in the state of Texas because it literally is whole food. Of course, it's non-GMO. It's gluten-free. It's dairy-free. We have third-party quality assurance verifications and certifications. And it has this. And as wellness and fitness professionals, I know this really spoke to me, as I'm sure it did you, Monica.
Totally. This is the biggest thing right here.
Isn't it? So when you, here's why. When somebody when we recommend something, our reputation's on the line. Our credibility's on the line. So it darn well better be what we say it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
Well, because of this research, this huge body of research, more than 30 studies, actually I think it's like 36 now, done by Yale, Wake Forest, MD Anderson, the best medical centers and university around the world have studied over the last 20 years and continue to study this product, this powdered produce product, this juice hack. So
and the thing I love about that is that you can't pay for that. That's not the kind of research that you pay for and you talk about on a commercial. This is independent. These are independent studies. These are things that they decided to do away from, you can't pay for that. That's not advertising. These are separate, journal type studies that are not paid for advertising.
That's right. They're not paid for advertising. And here's the really cool thing. Most medical medications and medical products on the market have maybe one quote unquote research study, right? Mm-hmm. No nutritional products have research. But not only do we have research, we have 15 studies showing that it's bioavailable. We have 4 studies showing that your inflammation decreases, which is the number one thing you need to work on for your health, is decreasing the inflammation in your body. This product does this. This powdered produce does this for you. Yes. Not to mention protecting your DNA. That's a big deal. Like, that's that oxidative stress. If you can protect that DNA, you prevent disease and aging. Bottom line.
Huge.
Yeah. And here's my favorite part about what we do. Like, we get on these calls on Monday night so that we can share our passion for health and wellness with you. But we have a whole community of this. Like, we have a whole community. We do things all the time. We have potlucks. We have salad in the jars. We're doing things to help support your health journey. And the community makes the difference. It's all about the community. It's all about the support. We know that just based on positive peer pressure, women will make different choices at lunch depending on who they're eating with and what the other people's choices are making. So it's good, positive peer pressure, positive support. Yeah. Am I going to choose a cheeseburger when you're having a salad? Probably not. So we help hold each other accountable and help each other really do well. This is my favorite part by far, though, I think. Can it get any better? I don't know. So when an adult consumes Juice Plus powdered produce, a child can consume it for free. And we have these great gummies, right? You give the gummies to your son.
He loves them, asks for them every morning. Hey, Mom, can I have my gummies? Yes, you can.
Oh, yes, I'll give you your gummies, which are so good for you, full of fruits and vegetables. I feel awful about that.
Yeah, right. Actually, candy that's good for you. Yay!
Yeah. And it's literally food. Your son could eat the whole bag and he may just poop really well that day, but we got no other issues going on. You don't have to call poison control or anything like that.
Right.
And here's what we know. And who doesn't want this? If you're a mom or a grandmom, who doesn't want this? The kids are taking fewer over-the-counter prescription medications. They're missing fewer days of school. They're eating more fruits and vegetables. I love these stories of these little 2- and 4-year-olds asking for broccoli when they wouldn't eat anything but white foods before. That's a big deal. I mean, doesn't that give you peace of mind and make you feel really good about what you're doing? I know as busy moms, this is our biggest struggle. And then we feel guilty. We drive through because it's convenient. We pull something out frozen because it's convenient, because we're so busy. And our quality of time with our children is the most important. But then we feel so guilty because we're not feeding them the way we know that they should be fed, right? Their little bodies are in our hands. So now we get to give them these gummies that they love, and we get them for free. And you get great peace of mind knowing that they're going to be eating more fruits and vegetables and having less doctor visits and so forth and so on.
Can't beat that.
And I don't know if y'all can see this because my thing is over the bottom of the screen, but here's the most amazing thing to me of all. Here's how I feel, Monica. You and I do pretty well most of the time, but we still make bad choices sometimes, right? Yeah. And our choices cost us. And some of our choices may even cost us every single day. Mm-hmm. So I figure if you're going to spend $2, $4, or $5 on something that's not a good choice or the best optimal choice that supports your health, you darn well better be spending $2.50 on something that's going to support your health. That's going to give you the energy that you're looking for, that's going to flood your body with the antioxidants from fruits and vegetables, powdered produce, that's going to help your brain work better so that you're happier and able to handle your stress better, help you recover from your workouts, all the things that we addressed today, detoxification, sleeping better, everything that we addressed gets addressed by great nutrition. And this is a way to flood your body with great nutrition for less than $2.50 a day for you and a child, which is pretty cool.
You can't do that anymore.
So when I started taking Juice Plus, I decided to stop juicing because I got the value of the product. I looked at the research. I looked at all those studies, and I'm like, I can finally breathe. I don't have to force myself to do all that juicing every day. I also did personally take a suitcase full of supplements because of all my health challenges, but I didn't tell my clients to do it because I couldn't prove what they did, right? But I did take them. So I stopped everything and I just started taking Juice Plus. I did take a lot of Juice Plus. I'm going to tell you, because I know where my health has been. You know, I had cancer at 35. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease at the same time. I'd struggled with my energy my whole entire life. Mm-hmm. I struggled with depression my whole life. And I'm not talking about being blue. I'm talking about the depression, like the deep in the closet crying, hopeless kind of depression. Yeah. And I knew where I'd come from. And I knew what I had to do. I get the value of fruits and vegetables. So I started taking actually 3 servings a day, which is not what I recommend for people. It's just, I'm a wellness coach. That's what I do. But I think the reason I tell you that is because I had a lot of really great results really fast. Now, everybody in the first 30 days notices more energy. But I noticed more energy in the first couple of weeks, but I didn't even know I had an energy issue. I thought I was good. I thought I was golden. So it increased my health. Even though I was doing all of these amazing things for my body, what it did is it took me to another level. And that's what I see across the board. Doesn't matter where you are in your health journey. If you want to go to another level, then you add this simple solution to your regime, to your lifestyle, your daily habits. And so after a couple of weeks, my energy went up. It took about 6 months for there to be a noticeable difference in my hair. Can you see the difference? Now, it's still not like it was when I was 20, but it's so much better than when I started Juice Plus. I got to tell you this, the picture on the left, I had been a raw vegan for almost a year at that point, which actually created a whole other host of health issues that I won't get into. But if I was eating nothing but fruits and vegetables and it still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough, right?
Right.
So my hair starts getting better. I start looking better. And there's one more thing that happened that was the life-changing thing for me. I'll never forget. I know exactly where I was standing, what I was doing. I remember thinking, what am I feeling? And I realized I was happy. I had never experienced that before in my life. And it is our God-given way to be. We're supposed to be happy. Our brain is supposed to be working. We're supposed to be full of energy. And so for the first time in my life, I was flooded with joy. And it was uncommon for me. I didn't even recognize it at first. So that's another reason I get on here and say, hey guys, you want to life hack your nutrition routine? Here's something you got to do. And here's your story.
That's me. The picture on the left, it was me at about age 40, probably 1 or 2. The picture on the right was taken when I was 47. This is an example of what happens when you begin to lift weights and you eat properly. And I began to eat properly. And so I went from, when I was the picture on the left is me when I was about 130 pounds and 30% body fat, which we talk about skinny fat. That's skinny fat. You're looking at skinny fat right there. No doctor would ever tell me that there was anything wrong. My BMI was good. I wasn't overweight. I didn't have any real issues except I couldn't climb a flight of stairs without gasping for air. I probably was pre-diabetic, and that's clinically obese. I mean, 30% body fat is clinically obese at 130.
It is. Yep.
That's not okay. That's not okay. So, the picture on the right at 7 or 8 years later, it didn't take me that long to get there. I wasn't trying at all for the longest time. And then, but you can see that there's a big difference in muscle and there's a big difference in leanness. And the interesting thing about it was that, so I learned how to eat. I learned how to lift weights. I was doing Zumba all that time. And so on that picture on the right, I was doing great. I felt great. I had a lot of energy, and for the longest time. But one thing I needed was naps.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that I was tired, and I needed a nap every single day. And I had gone through a tough divorce shortly after this picture was taken. And so I struggled with this a little bit, but I discovered Juice Plus. And when I discovered Juice Plus, I didn't need naps anymore. And my hair began to grow again. I was having lots of hair issues. And so those are the two main things that I discovered from Juice Plus. But the other thing I think I really got from it was a peace of mind, because I knew as a nutrition coach, as a fitness professional, I knew how many fruits and vegetables I was supposed to be consuming every single day. And I knew good and well I wasn't doing it.
Right.
I couldn't do it. There's no human way to do it. And so I had gotten the other things under control. I was drinking the right amount of water. I was sleeping appropriately. I was exercising. I was doing everything else, but I knew that I was not consuming enough fruits and vegetables, and there was no way that I was ever going to be able to. And so I had just kind of given up thinking that I ever could.
Right.
And so this came along and was like, whoa, this is so great, because
this is
saved that. Yeah, it saved that aspect of things for me, and it was wonderful.
I think it's really fascinating when people like you and I, who know what we need, and we stumble across this, and then we're like, oh, eureka, this is it. This really literally is exactly what I would have created had I could have. So here's our hope for you guys today. Our hope is this. We hope that you make a decision for your health. We've mentioned about 8 things here. Pick something. Pick 2 things. Add Juice Plus and start paying attention to your sleep. Do something that's going to elevate your health. Start taking it to the next level. Everything we've presented here are great solutions. You can't do them all in one go. So pick 1 or 2 things and start with them right away. If somebody invited you on this call tonight or to watch this video, please get back with them. Ask them more about these solutions. Ask them about Juice Plus, and get a solution for your life, because you got a couple of choices here. You can keep going on the way that you are. Let me know how that works out for you. Or you can make a positive impact and make a difference. And next year you'll be healthier, and the year after that you'll be healthier than that. And you can keep moving in a positive direction for your health. You can make a significant difference. You can make a change. And that's what we want for you. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It's been a fantastic time with you. And I wish you all health.
Okay.